GTA 6 just looks like it got a little bit of bad news. We'll be talking about what that is and what it means for you guys all in this video today. So as things currently stand, Rockstar has only confirmed GTA 6 for two platforms, PlayStation 5 and Xbox. Well, really three, the Series S and X and then PlayStation 5. However, over the last few days, we've been talking about the rumors of the PlayStation 5 Pro. And the PS5 Pro and GTA 6 have been really linked at the hip. The rumors have been that Sony wants to get this console out later this year in fall 2024 in hopes to beat, obviously, GTA 6 out the door. And because of that, it will be the most powerful system to play Grand Theft Auto 6 on, considering Xbox and Microsoft aren't planning on making a mid-generation console refresh. And so fans have been getting so excited about what this means for GTA 6, you know, the resolution they're going to be able to play it at, any extra features it might have. And one of the things being tossed around is, will they finally be able to play the game at 60 frames per second? Something that has evaded pretty much every single Rockstar title when it first releases. GTA 5 was stuck at 30 FPS. Red Dead Redemption 2 was stuck at 30 FPS, and it is a massive jump to go from 30 to 60. It really does make the game so much smoother. Well, unfortunately, here's where we get a little bit of bad news, because tech expert and Digital Foundry founder Rich Ledbetter has said that people shouldn't expect GTA 6 to run at 60 FPS on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Now, Ledbetter's comments come following the reports on the PlayStation 5 Pro specs, which revealed that the CPU of the PS5 Pro will be identical to the standard system with a 10% increase in gigahertz. And on a special edition of the Digital Foundry Direct talking about the PlayStation 5 Pro, this is what Ledbetter had to say.
The upshot of this is, as Alex said, is that the games that are targeting 30 FPS are not going to be targeting 60 frames per second on PlayStation 5 Pro if they're CPU limited. So, you know, all of the sort of conjectures that, hey, this is going to be a great box for Grand Theft Auto 6, we'll be able to run that at 60 frames per second, unless there's some magical CPU stuff being done by Rockstar. I suggest that's not going to happen. Extra 10% on clocks isn't really going to do much at all. It will help your sort of worst possible frame rates when you're CPU limited, but it's not a game changer. I think that's pretty clear.
Right.
Anything to add to that, Alex?
No. I mean, the only thing I would say is that we should always want developers to target the best possible experience on every machine. And right. Just because there's been a handful of games right now that are not doing a great 30 or dropping because of CPU limit issues doesn't mean all games are going to be that way. So there is potential, obviously, for games to be brought up to 60 FPS when they're 30 on PlayStation 5 base. Amateur. But it means that the CPU cannot be the hindering factor for the reason why that game is at 30 FPS.
So unfortunately, it looks like 60 FPS is not going to be a thing unless Rockstar does something absolutely magical here. And even though the PS5 Pro has a higher CPU frequency mode, which takes the CPU up to 3.85 gigahertz, a 10% increase over the standard console, it's unlikely to have a major effect on FPS performances. So I trust Digital Foundry's analysis, and based on what Ledbetter has said, we really shouldn't be expecting GTA 6 to run at a higher FPS on the PlayStation 5 Pro unless Rockstar do something magical. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be significant upgrades on the PS5 Pro. We know that the game will look better thanks to the console's better GPU, but what that will look like, of course, remains to be seen. But just because the game isn't going to be at 60 FPS doesn't mean that Rockstar won't be able to make significant improvements. And one of the improvements that's been talked about over the last couple of days or so is just how big the map is going to be. And that is something that we have talked a lot in detail, whether it's going to encompass the entire state of fictional Florida, Leonida. Will it include islands like Guarma or Cayo Perico that Rockstar featured in previous titles? Is it going to feature surrounding states like Alabama and Georgia that border Florida in real life? There's still so many questions, and the discussion was really about what is Rockstar going to do with the map boundaries? How far is that going to go? With someone going on to say, to add, the leaks gave us more of a minimum than a maximum map boundary. We know that that is how far the map goes at least, and obviously we've seen the landmass end on 3 sides, but we don't know for sure how much further north it could go, or if there are any smaller islands spread around in the ocean. And Rockstar Games insider Tez Funsu ended up saying this: there are minimum and maximum values for world limit / boundary checks. It's not for where the map ends. It's more so checks that are engaged once the game detects you're outside the world boundary, like sinking your boat, disabling your plane, or spawning a shark to kill you when swimming. And if the shark fails, it would just kill you regardless. Rockstar may do the same on land for Grand Theft Auto 6 by spawning a cougar or a tiger. I am not sure if the same checks apply on Red Dead Redemption 2, but I do know the boat sinking works. Those minimum and maximum values are arbitrary since Rockstar increased one of them for GTA 5. So they would definitely be increased for GTA 6. But for Red Dead Redemption 2, I believe the minimum is at about -8,000 and the max is at 8,000. So I can almost guarantee you that that is something that is going to be increased when Grand Theft Auto 6 gets here. And honestly, I hope they do it like Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes, you could technically go out as far as you wanted in the water and then things would happen like your boat breaking down and then you obviously die. But there was also just land that you couldn't access. And for me, that felt a little bit more realistic than something randomly happening like your plane just all of a sudden shutting down, or like, for example, a shark coming out in the water and grabbing you. And I hope that's what Rockstar does in GTA 6. I know that's going to be a little bit complicated because Florida in real life, as you guys know, or if you don't know, is surrounded on all 3 of its sides by water and is only surrounded by land to the north where it borders Alabama and Georgia. So Rockstar could have it work both ways, where if you do travel too far north, something like a cheetah or a cougar, whatever the case might be, an alligator might come out and get you. Or if you happen to go too far to the west, south, or east, you'll have something where your boat sinks, plane crashes, whatever the case might be. I do expect that to be a lot bigger, and even though Rockstar won't be able to achieve 60 FPS on the PlayStation 5 Pro, what this will allow them to do is to create a much bigger world, and a world that isn't limited when you get towards the edge. But anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below on everything we discussed in this video today. Do you believe that Sony's PlayStation 5 Pro is still going to be the best console to play GTA 6 on, even though it very much won't likely have the capability and the capacity to get GTA 6 up to 60 FPS, but it could have some other significant improvements like the map size and more? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.